That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? I've talked a lot on the show about how, I love the original Moana. I love it. I don't care what anybody says. I love it because there is a line where the sky meets the sea and it calls me, damn it. And I just love the movie. And then, of course, it pulled off that incredible phenom of being a 6-year-old movie that in 2023 became the #1 streamed movie.
It was like Moana and Suits. Have fun.
Yeah, and it wasn't even close. It was Moana by far was the most streamed movie of the year years later. So obviously we got a Moana 2 coming. Now, the other day, I expressed a little bit of concern because word came out that the official review embargo wasn't lifting until the day the movie comes out. That's not a good sign. But I said at the time, I'm not worried about that because Disney often has 2 different review embargoes. Yes, they have the full review embargo, but they also have the social media reaction embargo. So as long as they lift that several days in advance, I think it'll be okay, and I think they will. Well, they did. As the first reactions for Moana 2 are now out, and I've talked to a few people who saw the advanced screenings, and the general consensus is all the same. Movie's great, not quite as good as the original, but there's one glaring problem. The music's not fantastic. Is the general, like, the movie's great, it's hilarious, the chemistry's great, the dialogue's wonderful, blah, blah, blah. Not quite as good as the original Moana is the general consensus I got from the people I talked to. But also the music is significantly not quite as good as the original. Anyway, this is what some of the people wrote. Mama's Geeky wrote, Moana 2 is a worthy sequel, hilarious, great, music, and tons of period. Another emotional and empowering journey on the sea. Animation is stunning, new characters are fantastic, but at its best when Moana and Maui are together. Their banter is everything. That mid-credit scene, mind blow emoji. So I guess there's a mid-credit scene we should stick around for. The folks over at Screen Rant wrote, absolutely loved Moana 2. The animation is breathtaking and Moana's ensemble crew is fantastic. Her little sister completely stole the show for me. The story is strong and well crafted. It's a delightful sequel. I also enjoyed / loved the music. Great. There's some positive stuff about the music. Comicbook.com wrote, while the songs aren't quite as catchy as this go round, Moana and Maui are still an infectious pair, delivering hilarious gags and heartfelt moments, brilliant animation, a deeper dive into Polynesian lore. Moana 2 proves it's worth sailing beyond the reef again. Hollywood Handle wrote, Moana 2 features Moana and Maui's return, and they're just as great as you remember. The sequel reaches higher levels with outstanding visuals and new characters that work so well in a story with massive heart. The songs might not be as remarkable as its predecessor, but there are still some fun ones. So again, I also spoke to a number of people who saw the screening because they know I'm like very excited about Moana 2. And they were all like, John, you can rest assured you're going to have a great time. It's a wonderful movie. It's not quite as good as the first Moana, which is fine for me because the first Moana is so good to me. It's all right if it's not quite as good as that. But they said you're going to laugh a lot. You're going to have a really good time. This is what one person said to me specifically. Check your expectations when it comes to the quality of the music. Because everybody knows how much I love that. There's a line where the sky meets the sea song. I still have it on my playlist rotation. And there's no song in it that is that. Just like kind of Frozen 2, its music wasn't quite as good as the first Frozen, but at least Frozen 2 still had that one, what was that one banger they had, like Into the Unknown? Like, that's a great song.
Amazing.
Not as good as Let It Go, but whatever. So they're saying, yeah, the music's not bad, but most people the consensus seems to be that the music takes a big step backwards from the original. Again, the consensus seems to be the movie isn't quite as good as the original, but everybody still said it's a wonderful film and you're going to have a really, really good time at it. So I am very excited to see Moana 2. I'm perfectly okay if it's not quite as good as the original. And I'm even okay if the music isn't quite as good. My main thing is I love Moana and I love Maui. And everybody seems to agree that their chemistry together, the banter, all that kind of stuff works great. So you deliver that to me, I'm going to be a happy moviegoer. Anyway, Chris, I know your household has been very excited about this movie. What do you think about the reactions we're hearing coming out of that? Is it where you thought they were? Does it adjust your expectations? What do you think?
The critiques here meet my expectations, and yet it still calls to me. So I'm Still excited about this movie. Logan's obviously got a countdown. This is his favorite thing in the entire universe. He loves Moana so much. It's so precious. But I feel like this is exactly where I was expecting it. I do love the idea, though, of Lin-Manuel Miranda just being like, well, well, well.
Oh yeah, for those of you who forget, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did the music in the first one, did not do the
He's
music
not
in the
back
second
for
one.
this
Right.
one.
Which might explain it.
Yeah, and I believe it's the people who did the Bridgerton unauthorized musical, which
Oh.
had great music. It's super fun. There's a great song, "Burn for You." Oh, wonderful. But the music in the first one is so intrinsically tied to the vibe of the whole movie.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was so odd that he wasn't coming back on board for this one. But I'm still excited. I'm looking forward to meeting these new characters. I want to see more Hey Hey. Love that weird little chicken. Love Alan Tudyk getting to use his Juilliard training to balk. It's always so wonderful. I'm still pumped about this one. I typically, though, aside from things like an Inside Out 2, the sequel, or like Empire, the sequel usually isn't mind-blowing and makes me go, oh my gosh, this is even better than the first one. I just expect it to kind of stay the course. So it's exactly where I thought it would be.
You know, so one of our viewers wrote in yesterday, not yesterday, but the other day when I was expressing my concern about the fact, because you guys know, to me, it's a big, big red flag when studios hold off the reviews coming out to the day before the movie, or in this case, the day of the movie. And somebody brought up a really good point that I hadn't considered at the time, saying, you know, the thing is, this weekend, you've got Wicked and Gladiator 2, and maybe they want the reviews to drop full, not in the middle of all the uproar over Wicked and Gladiator 2. Like maybe the reviews dropping might get lost in the shuffle of people talking about movies that are actually out, Wicked and Gladiator 2. I thought maybe that's a possibility. Now seeing the first reactions and talking to people that I've talked to, maybe that does make sense. Let the reactions drop now. Let the full reviews come out on Tuesday. And maybe that seems right. Again, when I was alarmed by the fact that the review embargo was dropping so late, I said, listen, I'll be okay as long as they drop the reaction embargo earlier. And they did. So I can't be mad. I said what I wanted them to do, and that's what they did. So I can't be mad about it. And I'm just happy to hear that most people seem to enjoy the film. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Public Rec. Guys, we all know finding pants that both look good and feel good has always been a major challenge. Public Rec's Daymaker pants are here to make sure you stay comfy and classy this season. I absolutely love that they feel like your favorite sweats, but they look like tailored pants. They're super stretchy with an elastic waistband so you can wear them anywhere. The first thing I noticed when I put these pants on was they go on and feel just like my most comfortable pair of sweats, yet they look so good. Another great thing about these pants is, you know, when you order comfortable pants, you only get to pick from like small, medium, or large and extra large sizes, but with Daymaker pants, you get to select the exact width and length that you need. Public Rec not only has the most comfortable pants made, but they have a huge selection of high quality everyday basics, like this beautiful hoodie I was wearing on the show the other day. So stop suffering in regular pants and give the gift of comfort this holiday season. For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off when you use the code Campea at checkout. That's 20% off with the code Campea at publicrec.com. And listen, after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the John Campea Show and tell them that we sent you. Say goodbye to pants that put up a fight, because when comfort meets style, you've found Public Rec. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about the first reactions from Moana? The consensus seems to be really good movie, not quite as good as the first, and the music isn't as good as the first, but overall it's a really good film. Does that track for you guys? Are you worried about it? Maybe you don't even care about this movie. I certainly do. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.